We welcome you back here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. It's the post-game show. The Wranglers falling to the Bay Area Panthers by the final score of 68-46. Congratulations to Coach Wooten and Coach Keefe out there in San Jose. They are Western Conference champions, as you see on your screen there. Dalton Seed had a remarkable game. Their defense played really well. And Ed, what can you say about Justin Rankin?
It was the Justin Rankin show. 6 rushing touchdowns. They had 7 total for Bay Area. You see Dalton right there. Only threw 7 passes, James, but 3 of the 4 completions were for touchdowns. So that's, you talk about efficiency. There's our guy DL and Steve Pappen right there on the broadcast. But yes, just the efficiency and just the power of that Bay Area offense, James. They scored on every single drive they had. Northern Arizona could not stop them at all. 7 rushing touchdowns. I mean, that pretty much puts it puts a bow on this thing. But give credit to their defense as well. Bay Area, they were extremely aggressive, especially in the second half. Nick Watson, he did everything he could. They fought. You know, this is a championship team, and they continue to fight for the entire 60 minutes. You know, they weren't going to give it up they weren't going to give up that crown, just like DL said on the broadcast. They weren't going to give it up without a fight. As we see the Panthers about to get their trophy, they got their championship shirts. I'm happy for
the shirts there. Yes, they played a whale of a ball game, and the Northern Arizona Wranglers were down at the halftime. They came out and tried to rally the troops there in the half number 2, but as we talked about, that run game for the Bay Area Panthers was simply too much, and the Wranglers just not able to get any defensive stops this evening.
Yes, every single drive. Again, Bay Area, I'm looking at their drive summary. Every drive they had, they scored on. They had 1, 2, 3. It seems like an infinite amount of drives, but every single drive ended in a touchdown. So that's what you want to do offensively. If you're Dixie Wooten, the offensive coordinator for Bay Area, you want to have every time you have the ball, you want to score, ideally, and that's what they did tonight. And as we see Justin Rankin right there, the man of the hour. He was phenomenal tonight, JP.
He was unbelievable and able to make things happen. Even sometimes when the play was broken down in the backfield, somehow Rankin able to just slip through the defense, as he has often done this season for the Bay Area Panthers. And he's a big reason why they're advancing now to next Saturday's IFL Dollar Loan Center National Championship game. That's going to be a great one against the Sioux Falls Storm.
Yes, Sioux Falls making a major comeback in the second half. James, that was a crazy game out there in Frisco. My goodness gracious. They scored 35 points in the second half. Lorenzo Brown and the Sioux Falls Storm did to storm back, and they got a touchdown toward the end, got a 2-point conversion, and TJ Edwards tried to get his guys to drive down the field, but they were unable to get a score. How gutsy was it for them to go for 2, James? For Sioux Falls to go for 2 points, they said, we're going for broke right here. We're not kicking an extra point to go to overtime. We are going to go for 2, and we're going to win this thing. And wow, what a gutsy call, right?
Absolute gutsy call, and it's got to be that way in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's no tomorrow. You've got to lay it all out there and roll those proverbial dice as you need to make your way to Henderson, Nevada next week to the Dollar Loan Center IFL National Championship game. And the Bay Area Panthers and the Sioux Falls Storm will square off, I understand, right around 1 p.m.
Yeah, 1:05.
Afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting, a matinee kickoff. And that'll be televised on the CBS Sports Network. So that'll be a great game there, and it'll decide the national championship once again in a very tightly contested indoor football league season.
We see our guy Craig the Leg right there. We see Coach Rob Keefe. What a just great men right there. What a fantastic organization. We congratulate them for winning the Western Conference, going from 1 win like we did 2 years ago to the Western Conference Championship. Bay Area has done the exact same thing. As you mentioned, next week they'll be in Henderson, Nevada to take on the Sioux Falls Storm for the right to call themselves 2023 IFL National Champions. That should be a really good game next week, James. I'm excited. I can't wait for that one.
It really should be good. There you see Coach Rob Keefe celebrating, rightfully so. Great to see him. You saw the owner of the Bay Area Panthers out there, Mr. Roy Choi, and Shane Nutzler is exactly right. We didn't stop number 2 Rankin, and he was a big reason why this team successful all season long.
And also,
And
James, we got to give props to that Bay Area offensive line. A lot of times they lined up four guys. They lined up the three up front and the one guy kind of in the back on the right behind the right guard, kind of in a I guess a pseudo kind of tight end role, if you want to call it that. But they would always line up at least four guys there, and that also just the strength of that offensive line allowed Justin to do what he did, get those 6 touchdowns in addition to the immense talent that Rankin has.
Absolutely right, and you mentioned that a unique formation there, where they line that line that big lineman up there, almost like a wing back.
Yeah,
and then let the kind of run that play off the stretch there, and let him pick and see if there's a hole inside, or if he wants to go ahead and keep it, and the blocking sets up outside. But either way, good stuff, and it goes to show you sometimes you got to do whatever is necessary to win the ball game, and that's exactly what the Bay Area Panthers did tonight.
Just a fantastic game plan by Coach Dixie Wooten. We see him right there, the OC for Bay Area, and they did against every single drive they had. They ended in a touchdown. What more can you want? What more can you ask for from your offense if you're Coach Wooten?
You can't ask for much more at all. And Dalton Sneed right there, I remember the first time we saw that young man, August before last now, Ed, if you can believe that. Dalton Sneed was the quarterback for the Vegas Nighthawks in their debut football game. And he had a tough night that night, but little did we know he would rise back. And now this young man is going to be the starting quarterback in the IFL National Championship game next Saturday.
Dalton's an Arizona kid?
Yes, he is. Absolutely an Arizona kid.
Yep. From Scottsdale, I believe, right?
I believe he went to Horizon High School.
Yeah, he did go to Horizon. Yes.
Yep.
Good for them.
He's got the microphone there inside the SAP Center. As you see, he's a bit overcome with emotion there. Rightfully so. Dalton Sneed, well-deserved. He's made his way, made a couple stops, I believe, here in the IFL, and ended up with the Bay Area Panthers. And let me tell you, him along with Coach Wooten, as well as Coach Keefe and the rest of the staff there in Bay Area, really have turned the tide, if you will, there in San Jose.
Yeah, that is going to be a great game next week. Lorenzo Brown, he had a great game today. 13 of 30 wasn't as accurate as he I'm sure he would have wanted to, but 3 touchdowns through the air, 3 rushing touchdowns. So he accounted for 6 touchdowns. So you see, both of these teams like to run the football, clearly. So Sioux Falls and Bay Area, that is going to be a big-time clash next week out there in Henderson. That is going to be a fun one to see who's going to be able to hoist the ultimate trophy that we hoisted last year, the national championship trophy. That's going to be a fun one, James. I'm excited. Dalton's ready to go. I'm sure if he could get on the bus right now and go to Henderson, he would love to do that.
They're ready to go. Congratulations once again to the Bay Area Panthers. And for our Wranglers, unfortunately, they end the season with an overall record of 8-9. There's Roy Choi, the Bay Area Panthers co-owner, along with Marshawn Lynch, Skittles, as we like to call him. And he's going to talk with Coach Keefe there in a moment. But the Wranglers falling to an 8-9 overall record this season, falling 1 game shy of the title game. And, Ed, it was a great season last year. We were able to win that championship. But as they always say, it's always tougher to run it back and win it a second time. And you saw that proof tonight against the Bay Area Panthers.
Yeah, but you know what? I can speak for you when I say this. I'm extremely proud of every one of every athlete in this organization, every coach in this organization, everyone that works for the Wranglers. That you and I are privileged to work for this organization as its broadcasters, and that is an honor and a privilege that we don't take lightly. James and I don't, but for them to, it is tough, James, especially pretty much with a pretty much brand new team, other than a few holdovers from last year. James, we had 2 new quarterbacks. Everybody's trying to figure out their role in this football team. But you know what? They all bought into Coach Moss's to his game plan and how he wanted to guide this football team. And for them to get to this point again, for the right to go to Henderson next week, I thought it was a really good season. It's just ups and downs, and it's very hard to repeat as national champions. As DL said on the broadcast, it's been a lot of years since somebody has repeated in this league. But for this team to get back to this point, 1 year later after winning the national championship, that speaks volumes to what this team has done and the work they've put in to get to this point, JP.
Very well said, Ed, and I echo those sentiments as well. Everyone that's involved with the Wranglers, tremendous job this season. We thank you personally for everything that you've done behind the scenes. A lot of things go on, Ed, behind the scenes that folks don't know about that help things go off successfully, not only for the broadcast, but for the team overall. So we thank everyone for their efforts this season, and we also thank you as well for tuning in this season, watching the games. We hope we've enjoyed the broadcast this season. We certainly enjoy bringing them to you, and once again, our final score tonight from the SAP Center in San Jose, California, the Bay Area Panthers getting the win 68-46 over your Northern Arizona Wranglers, and they will advance to the IFL National Championship game next Saturday in Henderson, Nevada. Any final thoughts, Ed, as we get ready to sign off here for the season?
Folks, again, like JP said, I will echo his sentiments on that one. We appreciate every one of you guys that tune in and give us love for the broadcast. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure for us to do it for you and represent this fine organization as the voices of this organization. We love doing this, and we're going to continue to do this as long as they'll have us. James, let's put ahead, allow us to do this.
You are absolutely right, my friend. I'll echo those sentiments as well. And thanks to Coach Les Moss, owner Fred DePalma,
Yes.
and his ownership group as well. Everything is first class up there in Prescott Valley. We certainly are blessed to be a part of it all. Once again, final score 68-46 tonight. The Panthers getting the win tonight over your Northern Arizona Wranglers. For my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole, I'm James Hoovey saying so long. Enjoy the game next weekend. And we will talk to you again very soon. Stay tuned to the Wranglers social media outlets during the offseason for any news, and we will keep you posted on anything that we hear about and that comes your way. For now, take care. Enjoy the offseason. We will talk to you again very soon. And as always, go Wranglers.
Go Wranglers.